Hello, Jonah here. Surfing up to Scotland to do another beer review, and yeah, I've had this one for a while, a few months. But I thought I always knew that this would be a good beer to do in collaboration with other beers. So that is what we're doing over the next couple of evenings. And this one is called Fierce Beer. It's called May Contain Brambles. It's a bramble porter, so it's going to have some fruity fruitness in there. And it says it's a beautifully rich and sharp porter, complemented by a seriously generous addition of brambles. May contain brambles, which is interesting. Well, it is to me anyway. And if we go, does it have Does it have an ingredient? I don't think it does. Just says it contains barley and oats from gluten and stuff for tolerances, etc., etc. Hand brewed in Scotland, etc., etc. Doesn't really say. But this is interesting. So here it says Fierce Beer, Aberdeen, Scotland, which I especially liked because Aberdeen is where my mum did her university up there, and she went climbing and did all sorts of outdoorsy things. Because Aberdeen's it's kind of up there. It's quite northerly. It's not really up far north, but pretty far up. So you do skiing in the winter, climbing and stuff. Um, well, in the winter or the summer. However, if we go to the Ferment magazine and we look at, that's the one we did the other day, this one may contain brambles. See up here, it says Edinburgh, Scotland. That's weird, isn't it? And it says it contains brambles, obviously, and there's a nice picture of that kind of purpley kind of thing. Malty, nice mouthful, and lots of fruity taste, which is quite cool. Weird. Anyway, I read the article in here, and what it did say is Fierce Beer did start out in Aberdeen, however, have very recently, like the end of last year, they were doing a crowdfunding thingy to try and raise money to open up a new premises, a new brewery. Is that in Edinburgh? Maybe. They do have a bar because breweries need bars, and one of their bars is in Edinburgh. I quite like that can. I like the colour. I always like purple. Um, but yeah, don't know. I don't know, Ken. You know, which means I don't know. Anyway, the plot thickens. It could be that Beer 52 might have done a misprint, or they're trying to confuse everyone and yeah, do some weird weird stuff. There we go. Not sure. Wow, that is very fruity. Just on the little lick of the can that I usually do. Look at that bad boy. Okay, yeah, we're doing the normal, but that is pretty black. Tiny little bit of colour indicating that it's not full on black right at the end. Headwise, half a finger. And it is definitely dark tan, dark brune. But we are getting fruitiness. Smells very sweet as well. Smells lacto-like, which it does not refer to on the can. I'm not sure about this. I do like Brambles. And Brambles mean blackberry. So it's a blackberry stout. Is it stout or porter? Sorry, it's a porter. Bramble porter. Bramble porter says on there at 5%. Yeah, so a blackberry porter. Okay, guys, on to you. Let's see what we get when we dive in here. Ooh. Okay, so I was a bit worried, but I needn't have been. I did not get pricked by a thorn doing my blackberry picking, which I did the other week when we went blackberry picking in the graveyard. That's not a euphemism, that is what we did. A local graveyard, which is old graveyard, good couple of 100 years old at least. And walking, trying not to step on graves, but there's so many blackberries this year was ridiculous, and they're all out early because of the sunshine. So yeah, got loads of blackberries. Anyway, it's a bit bitter to start with, which fruit tends to be sometimes. A lot of people, because the whole food industry here in the UK, but I imagine around the world, is obsessed with putting huge amounts of sugar into things, and artificial sweeteners if they don't put sugar in. So anytime you hear something fruity, you have a thing, oh, that's going to be lovely and sweet. No, not in alcoholic beverages, unless you back sweeten. And that was the initial taste was, oh my God, this is going to be sour. And then it was, oh, actually nice. So I very much suspect that they're back sweetened with maybe some unfermentable sugars such as lactose. It might be that they just haven't fermented all the way. That's possible as well. But there's definitely some residual sweetness to counterbalance that sourness that would have been from the blackberries. I keep wanting to say blackcurrant, but it's not. It's blackberries. Whoa. That is actually nice. It's quite smooth. Not surprised because it's got oats in it. And for being up in Scotland, you've got to have your oats. But not with sugar. Put a wee pinch of salt on your oats in the morning. So the mouthfeel is really nice and really smooth. But you get the bramble, you get the blackberry on the aftertaste, and it lingers. It goes on and on and on. But there is a bit of residual sweetness there too, which is interesting because it's got a shed load of dark malts in there. I saw it had carafa. It's got some other really dark ones. So, you know, that is, even though it's not full on perfect black, that is dark. And I'm not getting too much because of all the sweetness and the fruit taste. I'm not getting much roast. I'm not getting any coffee. Yeah, it's overpowering with the brambleness, which is, hey, you know, why you're going to make a big deal out of it being a bramble porter. But it's definitely got something else to up the sweetness, to counterbalance stuff. But the smoothness is really nice. So fruit first, then that nice buttery kind of smoothness of the oats. Really, really long, fruity finish. But the finish is quite smooth as well. It's not sickly fruit shoot tastic, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it lingers. It lingers for a long time. And weirdly, for something that's got loads of oats on it, let's wipe all the sweat away, there is not very much lacing on this bad boy. So maybe the oats is not enough. Maybe you need an interaction between the wheat and the oats to get a nice head retention, shall we say. Because the head, I don't know if you noticed, but the head did not hang around very much as well. Oh, he says, showing you the Canterbury side of the glass, which is probably not the best. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really staying around too long on the side of the glass. It's there, but it doesn't, it drops out. Can you see the tide line, which would have been there, goes very super quickly. So my theory of oats being the genius thing, I very much suspect now that it's the wheat and the combination of the wheat and the oats that is doing that good thing for the head, doing the things for keeping those tide lines on the glass as you drink, which I'm not really getting with this one, which is a shame. It's weird. I'm getting them a lot with the Neepers, but porters and stouts. That was the one. That's where lacing came from. Do you know what I mean? That's what people talk about. Ooh. So bitter fruit, bit sour, sweetness counteracts that. Lovely silky smooth finish, and then linger with the taste of blackcurrant. I mean, in the past, and if you look at my back catalogue, Fierce Beer have had some right dodgy beers, in my humble opinion. And there's definitely a link between them and Beer 52. It's undeniable. However, that one, I heartily agree, is a very nice beer. It's a lovely beer. Is it the best porter stout I've had? No, but it's not bad at all. Maybe a little bit of dialing in, and yeah, it's quite seasonal as well because, like I said, I was blackberry picking 2 weeks ago. Shamal. Anyway, this has been Unclejona drinking beer once again. If you saw yesterday's offering, I was horrendously drunk. I wasn't drunk, but I wasn't making much sense. So if you haven't seen that video, I would definitely go and check that one out because it is it's an interesting one, no mistake. Anyway, please click like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and you won't miss any of the future videos and that kind of thing. You probably won't anyway, if you're interested. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow for another dark beer, another Scottish beer, no doubt. And yeah, until then, guys, you take care of yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow for more beer.